ball game.
What's good? What's good, y'all? Welcome, welcome to the first Shonen Hoops pod with, it's been a long time coming, co-host.
Yep. So, unofficial, official co-host here. Back at it again to help Omar bring some help.
Yep. Yep, wanted to change it up a bit. The big O is done. This is what I eventually wanted to do anyways, was a Shonen Hoops pod, life anime, basketball, the same, to me and my life, the same side, two sides of the same coin. So we're gonna, free agency done, everything's all set. Barring any trades, I'm gonna wait to do like the conferences a little bit later.
Yep.
But in the meantime, we just saw some Olympics, we saw Summer League. Let's rank a couple players, shall we?
Yep.
Top 10 point guards, at least for this video. Top 10 point guards.
Yeah. All right. So
Now, before we jump into it,
okay.
we ended up agreeing we won't bring up honorable mentions
No.
to leave a little bit of suspense towards the bottom of the list. And I, real quick, want to know what went into your criteria for making yours.
Okay. So I kind of went with the. I feel like it's a little bit of the importance of the actual player going into the games and how they affect everything. But I also think since we're doing point guards right now, it also has to be about how they can affect their whole team as a whole. Like I think they have to be able to like shoot the ball, but also pass it. But also, yeah, we didn't do any honorable mentions because if they're not top 10, they don't matter as of this video. Like it has to, top 10 has to be top 10, right? Like if you don't agree with us, then freaking, I don't care. Comment, put some random. I don't care if you have freaking Bilbo number 5 over here as the number 1, bro. He's not top 5, all right? I'm not here to listen to all those other countries. Omar's always the nice one, but I'm here to tell it as it is. Top 10 means you're top 10 in my eyes and as the NBA. But what was your criteria? As I already shots?
Very fair. So for me, I went like a combination of what I project them to be this coming up season, what they showed last season, and I did factor some winning into it, and what I've seen in big moments. That matters to me.
Okay.
Granted, it might be different for other people, but that's just me. I need them. What I projected to be, what they showed me last year, and what their current situation is. But of course, every situation comes with its own grain of salt and context. I took that into account as well. So let's start this.
Okay.
You're up first. Who's your number 10?
Yeah, okay, we're gonna start backwards. So I put number 10 is Damian Lillard.
Die. Why? Okay. Before I say who's, because my 10 is Tyrese Maxey.
Okay, so I think because if we're looking, so these rankings, the way I also rank them is that like I'm looking into like I am picking up from last season going into the next, but Damian Lillard was such a disappointment for Milwaukee in the sense of people at this point they feel like they can't even play together. So, and as I said, I feel like when you bring a point guard, they should be elevating every player. They should be, scoring. They should be there to be depended on because they're the general that's making everything work. And for me, last season it just wasn't it. Maybe this season will be a little bit different, but as of right now, I think there are 9 point guards better than Damian Lillard. And now, why do you put Tyrese Maxey at 10?
Okay, I'm gonna defend Damian Lillard a little bit.
Okay.
He did. He was dealing with a lot of off the court issues. His divorce.
Okay.
This was the first year they were playing together, and it was reported he really didn't work out this summer during that summer to getting traded. So last season was a big mess for the Milwaukee Bucks, and I did want to cut some slack to them because I know what Lillard is. I think we're gonna see a much bounce back year for Dame.
That's fine, but Damian Lillard's peak is what? Western Conference Finals?
Hey, with that Portland Trailblazers team, let's be fair. Let's be fair who they lost to now. Let's be fair who they lost
But then
to.
let's be fair. He had CJ McCollum, he had Jeremy Grant. We're really
And
we're not. I'm not talking
Steph
about
Curry, Klay Thompson,
okay.
Draymond Green, chop liver. What are we doing? What are we doing?
No,
What are we
one
saying?
time in the Western Conference, or how many times? Once.
You're not wrong. You're
Okay.
not wrong.
So like, if we're gonna bring the past, and I understand, but as you know, as it says, yeah, you can look at their life, but if you're telling me that he didn't work out and stuff, then he clearly didn't. Why would somebody that had, what are the marriage on that? So that's fine, but he should be on top of himself, no matter what. And like, for the things that he should have brought, he needed to make Eastern Conference.
The exit was ugly.
Yeah.
What can I say?
Yeah, but okay.
But all right.
So,
For me, for Tyrese Maxey.
okay, yeah, go. This is
So Tyrese. So it's just a matter of what I've seen outside, like of the players I have above him. I have nothing bad to say about Tyrese Maxey.
okay.
Nothing. But what I've seen out of players that's like individually, what I've seen, like those have performed better, and a couple of players that are above him have not seen the success that he has seen. But as of late, but I don't think the players that you might question who have above them don't have a Joel Embiid next to him. So we don't like that. That's the grain of salt I want to take into when I made this list was, well, if I take player B compared to Maxey, if he had a Joel Embiid, how would he look? But again, I have nothing bad to say about Tyrese Maxey. He played great in the playoffs. But that's just me. Joel Embiid was still dropping 40 and they lost to that injury-riddled Knicks team. But that's just
okay. So I'm gonna wait a little. You know what? Nah, I'll defend them and just saying that like there are two things, right? So Tyrese Maxey, I feel like because he did win Most Improved Player, which rightfully so. That trophy has been it's been getting more warped and warped as we go along because it's like, when you meet the bar that everybody has for you already, is that really so he answered the call of what everybody expected him for. And yes, of course, he did have Joel Embiid, and Philadelphia did struggle when he wasn't there, but he was also like, I still feel like he was a good flag bearer to hold on for Philadelphia to not completely get out of the.
But they plummeted down to the 7th seed. Like let's be honest here. They plummeted.
Yeah, I mean, you're not wrong.
Maxey still had the numbers, but the 76ers fell apart.
Yeah, but that's the point where it's like, I'm understanding of why you put him at 10, but I feel like he would have done a lot better if it's, I don't know. I think he deserves a little bit more respect just because of meeting expectations, and I keep thinking that we have not seen his ceiling yet. That's why I haven't yet. So we can go.
That's personally why I have him above certain players that were left off the list, but that's neither here there. Number 9. I'll put mine out there first. This is where I have Trae Young.
Number 9. Let me see what I started. Okay, so this one, I did put this one, and I'm I put Jamal Murray at number 9.
Jamal Murray.
Yeah. I think what he does in the playoffs. The thing is, right? So I think what Jamal Murray does in the playoffs has to put him in top 10 because yes, you're playing with a generational player with Jokic, but when you can turn on the scorcher like that and have an impact on a game that could end your freaking run, I feel like that's top 10. So that's at least why I have Jamal Murray as mine.
Jamal Murray did not make my list.
That's right. I'm going purely off of, like I said, like how he kind of reacts to the team and how he affects it. So,
you're not wrong. Again, we're not allowed to talk about my honorable mentions, so I can't say why I left them all. I'll leave it there. He just didn't make my list. Trae Young for me is a capable end. Yes, he's not to me. Yes, defense matters a lot to me. I'm one of those guys that defense does matter, and that's why he's at 9.
Okay.
But offensively, he's generational. He's an engine. He is the Atlanta Hawks. He at 5'10" averages 28 and 11. That is insane. He can get to the rim, can shoot, mid-range, pass the ball. He just didn't work out with DeJounte Murray. That Hawks team that we've seen, hopefully now with Jalen Johnson as his co-mate, hopefully it works out better. But Trae Young, the offensive bag he has to be able to create for his teammates, they just need to build a better fit around him. And his defense is the reason he didn't make it up, and some of his success, because he wasn't able to make it work with DeJounte Murray, although he only had 1 year. But that is the reason he is at 9 for me. But I do have him higher than Jamal, obviously.
All right, I'm back, guys. Sorry, I had a family thing to do. Okay, so I don't want to defend. No.
Also, Jamal Murray, that Olympic showing was not pretty. Shooting, the way he played poorly, and it really showed how much he struggled when the ball wasn't in his hands. Because the ball's only now in SJ's hands, and for Canada, he just didn't play well at all, and I just couldn't go.
Yeah, but if I feel like
and compared to what we recently saw from Tyrese Maxey individually and from Trae Young as of late, I just think they're they don't have Jokic. Maxey. Let's see what Jamal Murray without Jokic. The Denver Nuggets will be at the bottom of the West.
Okay. I mean, fair argument, right? But then again, that's why I have him as 10 and 9, because their only reason why they excel is because they have something else to distract them. All right, so for Trae Young, my only argument is I feel like I don't have the stats, but I just know he was exactly what a point guard should be in the perfect floor general of being able to pass it out when you need to, while also shooting the ball and being in those clutch moments. But I will say it's hard because we have not seen success from them, other than their one win in the playoffs. So, and
I also think that's the incompetence of the Atlanta Hawks.
Yes, that's the thing. It's it's very hard to say that a point guard is great when their team is really, really below what they are. But that's why when he comes up, that's why I have him in his place. All right. So now we're going.
Okay. So he's higher. So he's higher. You're like, okay.
He's a little bit higher.
All right. You're number 8.
So my number. Oh, you're right. My number 8. I got De'Aaron Fox.
Okay. I have Ja Morant here.
I will say, Ja Morant did not make my list.
Okay. Can I ask why he didn't make your list?
I think he let his team down. I think he didn't do what a point guard should do. So, until I see and getting injured, and I think until I see how he comes back. If he comes back full health, you know how he comes like that, so I will say I did have him, but I had to remove him because I thought about it more, and I was like, I'll say I think I removed Ja Morant to put in Jamal Murray because playing in games.
Okay, that's fine. I can't see that. I can't see that. For me, Ja Morant is. I saw the 6 or whatever 6 to 9 games he played before, just getting hurt. But I truly do believe that this is the end of his off the court issues. I really do hope. Yeah. I love Ja Morant, but his jump shot could use a little bit of work. But other than that, we saw that of what the Grizzlies look like without Ja Morant. Yeah. With Ja Morant, they're the top 2 seed in the Western Conference. We've seen them. But without him, at the bottom of the West, of course, the Memphis Grizzlies were decimated last season, so that has a lot to do with it. Other than Ja, but Ja Morant he can get to the rim at will. He can get whatever shot he wants. He's not the worst defender in the world either. He's a better defender than Trae Young, I would say. And I just think the effect, what he means to the Memphis Grizzlies, and that's the difference between him and Tyrese Maxey for me.
Okay.
No, Joel Embiid, they tank, even with Tyrese Maxey there. Look what the Memphis Grizzlies are with Ja Morant, and then take him out of the lineup, they plummet.
That's fair. That's fair.
And what we did see from him last year in those 6 or whatever games, he was magnificent.
Yeah, that's true. He did come back and I think had like a 40-point game.
And his comeback and hit a game winner. It was beautiful. It was poetic. And then he got hurt. This is me projecting and taking that availability into account, and that's what he's. If he was here more, he'd be higher.
Yeah, and I agree. If I could have seen more games where then I'd also put him. But availability is a big thing to decide if a point guard is a point guard at all. If they're not on the court, then they don't make it, at least for me. But De'Aaron Fox. So my issue with the Sacramento Kings is I feel like they were. It's so hard because they're good. They're not a terrible team. They're just in a strong conference. But I feel like disappointed a lot of people, not even making the playoffs.
And but that's because he's number 7 on my list. He's number 7 on my list.
Oh, okay. So we have him. Okay, so okay.
JJ. So my thing with De'Aaron Fox is, just with the Sacramento Kings, is it was only really like a 2-game difference from the previous year to this year. It was just like how the Western Conference ended up shaking out.
Yeah.
Harrison Barnes' issue. Harrison Barnes just wasn't good last year. I thought Keegan Murray was going to take a bigger jump than we saw. Hopefully he's able to get back. But yeah, my question is is it Domantas Sabonis that we'll talk about once we do the center one? Mm-hmm. But De'Aaron Fox, he, in my opinion, he is like what my view of a perfect point guard is for this time and age in the NBA. Okay. He sits down in defense, playmates, can push the tempo, he can slow it down, get to the rim at will, get to the free throw line. That is just the only thing that's inconsistent about a jump shot. He had a 2-3 month period last year where he was on a heater, and I was thinking, I couldn't figure out how they would stop him until his jump shot just regressed back to what we expected from De'Aaron Fox. But this is a more of what Sabonis and Fox haven't been able to figure out together to get the Kings. Maybe this looks different with DeMar DeRozan in the mix now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But just the people above them, if they're not on the same level as De'Aaron Fox, they're a little bit higher. Plus we're seeing success with these guys.
Yeah.
Who I have above them.
Okay. No, yeah, I agree with everything you said. I also feel like it's the issue I feel of what their tempo is, where it's like, do we follow from the games that I can remember, it's like, do you follow kind of because they play at a slower tempo. But with De'Aaron Fox,
I'm sorry.
Well, Domantas Sabonis plays at a slow tempo compared to what and I feel like De'Aaron Fox plays at a faster one.
Yeah, that's fair.
So that meant their tempos clash, which is what makes the how good De'Aaron Fox can be as a point guard diminishes, because it's like he wants it one way while the team is trying to play at a slower, give it to Sabonis, let him get his triple double, let him do his post up. So that's the games that I can remember. But
I just also I need the Sacramento Kings to find a good balance, because 2 years ago they had the best offense in the NBA, but they had the worst defense in the league. Last year, their offense took a huge dip, and the defense a little bit better. If they could just get into the top 10 in both categories instead of being so lopsided, then I think the Kings would be in a lot more games and not be in so many close games, I should say. Because De'Aaron Fox did win Clutch Player of the Year 2 years ago, and that's yes, that's a cool award to have, but that also means you're in a lot of close games.
Yeah, basically. Okay.
Great teams avoid those games.
True. Okay, so as my 7th, I had Tyrese Maxey. So we talked about that already. So okay. I think I put him above. For me, I put him above Fox, Murray, and Lillard.
Okay, so they're not too far in range. It's a 3 player. That's not too bad. So who's your number 6?
My number 6. Wait, what's your? Oh, because you said my number 6 is Trae Young.
Okay, so he was a lot higher.
Yeah, he was in front of Maxey, Fox, Murray, and Lillard, but he did not. He did not break the top 5.
Okay, this guy did not break my top 5. Damian Lillard. Dame is my 6.
Oh, okay. I mean that's fine. fine. Honestly, we're not. I feel like we're both saying that like if we tweak a little bit this player, then we'd be kind of like matching up.
This is more of Dame, like the Bucks season last year was disappointing throughout the whole year. Firing Adrian Griffin, hiring Doc Rivers, like Dame not being fully acclimated, not being able to figure out how to play together. Mm-hmm. I expect Dame to bounce back. I just don't know how much farther because for a while he was just number 2 to Steph. Yeah. And I don't know how much about what a bounce back year looks for Dame, especially considering the guys that have above him in the years they had last year. I just couldn't. I don't know what a bounce back. A bounce back for them to what these guys project to be next year. That's where I'm at.
And my thing is too is I will say that I did put kind of like age into it, where it's like at this Dame as of right now to me he's on the downward slope.
Yeah, his prime is
So that's just something that we have to see how he develops his game as he's gonna get slower.
But he's still a hell of a player.
Yeah, I'm not saying that, but the thing is, you gotta take into accountability everything of just getting older. It's something that happens to every player. Not everybody can be LeBron playing at damn freaking almost 40.
Yeah.
So now we're going to the top 5. Who do you guys your 5th?
Jalen Brunson.
Okay, all right. I had Tyrese Halliburton.
Okay.
So why okay? You want me to go first?
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
Tyrese Halliburton had a really great year, but he also had a very inconsistent year. Where before the All-Star break, he was doing phenomenal numbers of.
That's, in other words, before his injury.
Yes, but the thing is, even when he came back, so he was doing phenomenal. Yes, before his injury, but when he came back from his injury, maybe he came too soon, so I can't put all the blame on him. But he's also a top 5 because of just the way that he always has somebody. He always looks for the open man. He tries to get he can get his points if he needs to. The only problem why he didn't go any bit higher for me is only because. If like we've been saying, availability is very important. So I feel like with him shooting, with him and his shooting struggles that he was having during the later half of the year, it's kind of what costed him, even to the point of like the match again, the final round against New York when they played.
Mm-hmm.
So, and the only reason why he kind of like is good is because he has a phenomenal team at this point around him. Which obviously they wouldn't be as great as they are if it wasn't him being such a danger. So for me, what I'm looking to see from Tyrese Halliburton is just that hopefully he recovers completely fine and he comes back as great as he was before the All-Star break. And he's still a shooting threat and can open up and look for his team, because that's what's gonna make him go up the list even more from where he's at right now for me.
All right. For me, Jalen Brunson had an amazing year last year. Considering the injury to Julius Randle, how Jalen Brunson was able to perform in the playoffs, he was magnificent. But now, my only question is I'm projecting to what Tyrese Halliburton is going to look like, because I'm not going to hold his injury against him. And because of the NBA's their thing with their rule of like having to play the certain amount of games to get these awards, that's what Halliburton wanted, because he wants to get paid the Supermax, which he completely deserves. He's the pace that the Pacers play, the offense rating that they had. The reason they were a top offense in the NBA is because what Tyrese Halliburton it is. I'm not going to hold that he hold his hamstring and he wants to get paid, so he came back too early just to see how he can mesh with Pascal Siakam after that trade. I'm not going to hold these things against him. And it cost him in the end, because he came back too early and the Pacers fizzled out because Halliburton was never truly healthy. I do think coming into this year, he's going to be healthy. I expect to see more of a version of what we saw in the first half of the year than the second half.
Yeah, I agree.
That is to say, I have nothing really bad to say about Jalen Brunson. Now, I'm just more curious to see what a version of Jalen Brunson looks now with more talent around him and how he's going to be able to distribute because he was taking bad shots. Actually, do nothing like that was probably a good shot for what the Knicks had on the floor.
Okay.
To how decimated they were,
Yeah.
he had to do what he had to do. But now I'm more curious to see what his offense looks like this year. Now with Bridges and Anunoby back, Randall healthy, what this really gonna look like for Jalen Brunson. And again, to me, it's close because Halliburton for me is number 4.
Yep, and I have Jalen Brunson at 4.
Okay,
So,
there it is.
like I said, we have him just tweaked. My only defense for Jalen Brunson is we saw him exponentially grow from the 2023 when he went against the Heat, when he was scorching him from left, right. It didn't matter where he was going to score, and he continued to grow on that to become an even better scorer. And I think that's why for me he's a little better from Tyrese Halliburton, because the only reason why I feel like the Knicks lost is because they had injuries to deal with.
Yeah,
as you said, without the injuries, it might have been a completely different story. And now they have added talent with Mikal Bridges. But for me, just the fact that he's able to score and be there when needed is something that's important. And I will agree that he's not. You don't see him facilitate a lot. You don't see him pass the ball. But again, it's because of the team that he was handed with injuries. Yes. But I feel like just with that alone, like in just being committed to being with the Knicks and then being such a cornerstone is why I have him higher up. Not saying that Tyrese Halliburton isn't a cornerstone for his team, but I think if it would have been a healthy team versus a healthy team, the Knicks might have been a different story.
Absolutely. The Knicks might have been in the NBA Finals.
So who do you have as now? Okay, now we're going to top 3.
Okay.
I feel like you and me. I think we might tie it. I think we might be fine. We're kind of on that same wavelength. We'll see.
I don't think so.
Unless you have some random Markelle Fultz as your top 3. But
no. But who's at your 3?
All right.
Justin, who's gonna be?
Okay.
Who is it?
I got Shai as my 3rd.
Okay.
Who do you have?
I have Luka at 3.
That's crazy.
Yeah. Wait. But like, let me
go explain.
So Luka to me, like last year, again, the top 3 guys for me were very, very close. Very, very close. But the NBA Finals, because Luka going into like through the run to the Western Conference to get to the NBA Finals was amazing. He was willing to defend, was playing off the ball decently well off of Kyrie. Even though as a number 1 option, he was facilitating. He was shooting the ball well. The leadership was there. And the NBA Finals are all like the bad things about Luka showed again.
In the final, okay, all right, that's fair.
The level of I was getting beat backdoor, getting beat off the dribble. No matter what type of defense, that is the reason the Boston saw. Yes, the numbers will show Luka Doncic had a great NBA Finals. He had a good final. I can't say great because the defense was so horrid. I am watching Derek White take him off the. Al Horford took him off the damn dribble.
Okay.
60-year-old Al Horford, 30th year in the league, took him off the. It was insane. Yes, PJ Washington could have shot the ball better. Derrick Jones Jr. could have shot the ball better. damn it, if Luka would have defended, we would have that series would have been different.
I mean,
it's like the leadership also shows when he's complaining to the refs, not getting back on defense. That bothers me. I need Luke. If Luka comes back in better shape to be able to play defense for longer, and he comes down that will take him to the next step, and that's why I have Luka at 3.
Okay. All right, that's fair. Okay. But I mean, like the thing is, right? It's that we're not gonna act like he was healthy in the finals, and maybe that's not an excuse to not play defense. But without Luka Doncic, you don't have Dallas making it freaking. I don't even think they passed the freaking Western Conference Finals. They need him.
You're a number one. You as a number one, you can say that about your number 2 and number 3. Damn it, if you're the damn number 1, get it done.
Okay,
Because I'm not even. Because if you're playing this well offensively, if you're hurt on both ends.
okay,
But
but the thing is, it's a team of 5. Like whatever. If Luka's scoring damn near what? I feel like he was scoring so damn much, more than 30 points. Pick up the fucking slack, you other guy. Like, why do
yes, because Kyrie didn't have a good finals either.
So the thing is we're talking here.
But if Luka is scoring 30, he's giving up 40.
Come on.
If not, he's giving up 30. The defense was so bad. His defense was worse than how good he was on offense. And I let Luka last year showed me had an incredible year. I loved what I saw from Luka last year, but all the bad things I ever saw from Luka all showed in the NBA Finals, and that is the reason he can't be better than the 2 guys I have ahead of him.
Okay. I mean,
and this year, adding Klay Thompson and getting rid of Derrick Jones Jr. is gonna put more emphasis on the defensive end.
Yeah, no, that's true. That was a move, but at the same time, I don't know. Give Luka any other people that were former All-Stars and they're winning a chip, and he will be the reason
Kyrie.
why. And he will be the.
You
reason
had Kyrie.
Why. All right, bro. All right, we're gonna compare Kyrie. Who Boston have? Jason Tatum can have. I don't even want to talk about it. Jason Tatum can have a freaking stinker, and it doesn't matter when you have Porzingis, Jaylen Brown, Drew Holiday.
That's fine, but if you are comparing Luka to be one of those ones to the top echelon players, like those type of guys, Bron got it done with Kyrie. Kyrie didn't have a good finals. Yes, I'll give you that. But offense is half of the damn game. The other half matters.
Yeah, but that's what you got.
And these 2 guys, not if you're getting attacked. You're gonna defend Luka from getting blown by Al Horford. That's what we're doing. Is that what we're gonna do? Getting beat by Horford. That's what we're gonna do.
Hey man, he was tired, bro. He can't carry the whole damn team. Sorry, he couldn't last until the finals. Sorry that they also have to go against the biggest super team where it doesn't matter if you're a super.
Kyrie was cooking throughout the Western Conference. So let's not act like Luka did it all himself throughout the Western. PJ Washington and Derrick Jones Jr. had their respective series where they were shooting lights out. That is part of the reason the Mavericks made a run.
But you just said it.
These guys were
one series. He did it.
So, but you're acting like Luka dragged the Mavericks throughout the Western Conference.
He had to be. If he was not consistently as good as he was in every single series, they would not have gone that far.
The Mavericks made the finals because they were good defensively. Karl Anthony Towns is the reason Timberwolves lost to the Dallas Mavericks because they had him on lock. Towns played awful against the Dallas Mavericks.
Bro, I just know no other guy scoring out here outscoring teams in the first half. No other guy's doing it. No other guy's outscoring the whole damn team back in multiple years.
You're gonna make me look like a Luka hater, and I'm not that guy. I'm not
even a big Luka. I'm not.
But these 2 guys that are ahead of him don't have that hole that Luka has.
Yeah, I mean that's fair. Whoever you have, I'm just saying.
I think our number 2s are going to be the same, and then our 1s are.
I don't think so.
Who's your number 2?
Luka.
Steph Curry's my number
2. Okay, that's fine. Wait. Sorry, you didn't even let me. You see, you were so heated about hating on Luka. You didn't even talk about Shai.
I'm sorry. Go.
Alright, so I had Shai at 3 because my thing. It's funny enough is that my thing with Shai is the same thing that's with everybody that's lower down, in the sense of he's really really good, and obviously like he can attack from anywhere. But I also feel like he helps. Well, since he's the top pick, so I put him under Luka only because yes, he can be everywhere. Yes, he can attack. But I feel like point guard, like when you want to be like the best of the best player, you have to be such an active like memory in someone's head that it's like, okay, the second this guy gets the ball, we gotta double team him, we gotta triple team him. And OKC has gotten so good to the point where they like if Shai has a half decent game, you have Jalen Williams scoring from threes. If not, you got Chet Holmgren that can also do really well. And I think as a team, they elevate to the point where Shai. I feel like even if Shai has a decent game, they're not all the way up. But we'll talk about that after. So you put Steph Curry at 2.
Yeah.
So okay. And I'll just say I put Steph Curry as my 1. So
SGA is my 1.
So make your argument for SGA, and I'll make my argument for Steph Curry.
Okay. SGA last year was my MVP. He's who I thought should have won MVP. I think he's only going to get better. He can attack from all levels. A 5-level scorer, can get to the free throw line, can shoot from 3, mid-range, get to the rim at will. He can defend. And the reason the Thunder lost is because the Thunder were an incomplete team. And they defied all expectations last year. No one had them as the number 1 seed in the Western Conference.
True.
They flamed out because the Thunder, instead of rushing it, they didn't make the same mistakes as the Atlanta Hawks made. They said, let's see the weaknesses of this team, and we'll address them in the offseason, and we'll see what happens. They traded Josh Giddey away, who didn't work with SGA, and got Alex Caruso. Love that trade. And the biggest weakness, which was the center position, because Chet, to me, is more of a 4, at least for now. And so he's able to build out his body. Brought in Isaiah Hartenstein, one of the biggest off-season acquisitions throughout the league.
Okay.
And now that the Thunder covered up the major weaknesses we saw, I think J-Dub's going to get better, but it all starts with SGA. And that's what we saw last year.
Okay.
SGA, to me, has like legit no holes in this game.
Okay. But now the thing is, but you think he's better? Okay, so my guess now it comes down to, we're talking about best point guard that is currently playing.
Absolutely.
And you don't think it's Stephen Curry?
The expectations we had for he was my MVP.
Okay, for SGA. Okay.
And this is why he has to be the number 1. He was my MVP, and I think he's only going to get better. There is no way me saying he's my MVP last year, I think he's going to get better, and me not have him number 1.
Okay, that's a fair point.
And then the defying expectations from people thought they were going to be a play-in tournament team to being the number 1 seed.
Okay.
It matters.
All right.
Again, Steph Curry is unbelievable, greatest shooter ever. We saw what he could still do in the Olympics.
Yep. And that's why I have him as my number 1, because not only
I'm not mad at it. I'm really not mad at it.
It's true. But not only did Shai not even make the Olympics finals, bro. Canada, where were they at? Steph Curry was out there shooting.
Jamal Murray wasn't a nothing.
Hey, Jamal Murray's my ninth. Shai's my 3rd, bro. I told you, man. I want my personal is that they gotta make an impact. Steph Curry is the best 3-point shooter. He's I think he's like at a 98 overall on the new NBA 2K25.
That's not what we're doing. Okay.
I don't care, bro.
2K.
He was out here shooting out in the Olympics. He can shoot out. He shot against women and he still comes out on top, bro. Steph Curry is him. He is a generational talent, and the thing is that maybe yes, Shai, we'll see where his roof goes, but his roof is not going to be Stephen Curry's. Not where. Without Stephen Curry, what is Golden State? The same thing as Memphis was without John Morant, right? But it's even, I don't know, dude. For me, I understand that we're looking at it like for the future season, and like I'm 100% going on recency of just seeing how incredible he can be and who he still is and how he can still do it even after this year, after years and years of dominating the league with his Klay Thompson, And the thing is, I feel like this season's going to bring out such a different Curry that we're used to, because he no longer has, the only guy he has is the enforcer, Draymond Green. Like, he has to do something that we're not expecting to elevate his game even further, to bring Golden State to relevancy again before they completely wave off and don't exist in the Western Conference.
They're not making the playoffs again. They're done.
They can be in the play-ins. The thing is, we're gonna see a Stephen Curry that's not worried about the drama of, oh, I gotta get my brother the ball, I gotta get Klay Thompson so he can be happy. We're gonna get a guy that it's, hey, this is your team. When you touch the ball, you get to decide whatever you want to do. Whether that be a half-court shot, it don't matter because it damn might near go in. And until Shot has that level of respect of, yo, you take this and run with it, that's my thing. As of right now, that's why Steph Curry has to be the top one, because he makes an impact. People want to play with it. People want to be around it because they just know that when he has the ball in the fourth quarter, he's making it. And there's nothing that's going to stop him. And the thing is, and I'm not knocking at Shai. Shai, he's great, bro. Like you're saying, OKC came out of nowhere to do what they did, and they did it fascinating. But I'm going to look at the accolades. And but because we're going off of the best point guard currently.
But you're comparing cachet to cachet, and at that point, yes, Steph is going to be number one. But if we're projected what we think we're going to see next year, based on what we recently saw, SGA is not going to have the cachet to what Steph can do whatever. Yes, I understand. But what Steph Curry did 5 years ago isn't really that relevant to what I'm looking to see, what I think I'm going to see next year.
Okay, that's fair. But at the same time, we have not seen a Steph Curry that literally has to fight for himself. And that's what I want to see. I want to see the wounded warrior go in and show everybody and remind them that he's still the guy. And that people still have to be scared of him and his team. And obviously that's 100% dependent on Golden State. But if you were, I think if you strip out everybody in OKC, is Shai still going to be, are you still going to say that Shai is that person?
Absolutely.
Okay. That's why he's your number one. That's a fair point. But
Hey, Steph Curry can be Steph Curry is the best point guard of all time to me. Historically, he is the greatest shooter ever. Yes. Yes. Absolutely. But you know what? The Golden State Warriors are still not going to make the playoffs. And no matter how wounded he is, no matter what he wants to do, this Western Conference is too deep, and the Warriors aren't going to do a damn thing.
That's an Omar. I need everybody to remember. I'm going to remember this. I'm going to look back at this.
That's fine.
If the Golden State make it to the play-ins, or at least the playoffs, if they make it to the playoffs, man, can't wait to look back at this. But
they can go ahead and make the play-in and lose again.
That's our top 10, everybody. If you have somebody else as your number one, or if we didn't, because I didn't let Omar do no honorable mentions. If they're not on the top 10, I said it earlier, they don't matter. If you think that we rip some people off, or that you think they should be in this top 10, leave a comment. Omar, take it away, buddy.
All right, thank you guys for watching. See you guys next time. Peace.